I've made it my goal to collect 69 of each set of packs. And once I do, I'm going to tweet Wizards and be like, if you don't give me the Jumpstart packs to collect, I'm going to freak out. Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're all having a magical day. Thank you so much for taking the time to support the channel. We've reached Mythic, so we're going to talk about everything that entails. What deck did we use? How do you effectively use that deck? Showcasing that through the gameplay footage, of course, as well as the deck tech. And then, wrapping up talking about the general experience, what the meta was like throughout our process, and of course, what the different matchups were like as well, because we have a ton of stats that's going to be really cool to go through with you guys. So buckle up, get ready, support the channel. Every thumbs up really does help. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, don't miss out on that. Join the Discord community where you can find all the contests, the giveaways, and exciting stuff like that, okay? So let's get right into it. First off, we do have the deck here. We have a total of 98 wins, 65 losses, a win rate of 60%. Not too bad. On the play, with a 63% win rate, on the draw with a 57% win rate. To be expected. The nice thing about this deck is it's very, very fast, right? The matches do not take long, no more than a couple minutes, right? We get to turn 4, turn 5, it's like double strike trample or not, right? And then you're just riding out the chances that you get there, and the 60% chance of that is pretty good when you can repeat it, enough times to get there. And what would it be, 163 times, right? 163 matches. So that's not too bad when they really only take maybe a minute or two, right? And then looking at the meta, when we get back after we break down the deck, we clocked in at 44, and now we've, sat for a few minutes, started this video. So we're at 48, which is pretty cool, right? We're already qualified. But the qualifier is actually going to be limited. I believe it's sealed, but it could be draft. But either way, it's limited. So we're going to start practicing with that a little bit. And now we can break down the deck, right? Not so top secret is the version, and I've shared this in the Discord while I was pushing to our supporters, which is a bonus for those of you who are supporting. You get access to the VIP chat within Discord, and a lot of cool stuff gets shared there that typically isn't passed around to everybody. However, I will share it eventually, right? So this is what we're looking at. It's a very quick Boros aggro-based deck. Maya says that we should probably watch her for a little bit first. Just ignore my dirty laundry to the side. Back to the deck, though. I mentioned the EMBERCLEAVE Annex synergy earlier, I believe, and the Blade Historian attacking creatures have double strike, a little bit better than just one creature. And Angel Fire Ignition, giving 2 +1/+1 counters. Typically, the EMBERCLEAVE gave the +2 because of the loyalty from it onto Annex, right? So we still get that. And then we're gaining Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Indestructible, and Haste until the end of turn. So that's a little bit better, right? And we can recast it from the grave with Flashback, basically the turn after, which is absolutely incredible, right? So we'll have double strike, we'll have Trample, and we'll have, all those other things as well, which is really cool. The Lifelink is the most notable of them because it's going to help you survive in those aggro matchups where they're trying to do a bunch of damage to you, you're trying to do a bunch of damage to them, they don't have lifelink, you do, so you can just grab life and just keep punishing them with your trample and double strike. Showdown of the Skalds in the deck to refill our hand if things get weird, and then we've got a pretty light mana curve to help us flood the field to take advantage of those +1/+1 counters that you get from the Skalds, right? 2.5 average mana value within the deck, so it's fairly light. 21 lands here, keeping it fairly consistent, low to the ground. We also do have the Kazel's Fury and the Cliffs coming in tapped, or the Fling effect, which is very, very, very good, right? And that's going to bring us up to the 23, which is how many lands I would typically run in a curve of this stature. One of the other really core concepts of the deck is haste, right? The Angel Fire grabs haste. The Reckless Stormseeker can also grab haste. 2/3, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains haste until the end of turn, right? So it can be on itself as it enters or on your next creature to enter, which is really, really cool. And then, of course, you know, that's daybound if we go to nightbound by not casting, or our opponent by not casting, because sometimes they'll do that as a control deck, right? They're like, oh, well, I'm going to hold my mana up and cast on their turn. Well, he just transformed my slasher, right? And if it is nighttime, you can cast another slasher from your hand, and it's going to come out buffed up as well. This is a 3/4, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains trample and haste until the end of turn, right? So the trample we love with double strike. This is a secondary way to get it, as opposed to Angel Fire Ignition. Very, very good. Plus it's giving out that haste, which is a similar effect, as well as the +2 power. We don't get the toughness though. But the Reckless Stormseeker, absolutely amazing. We have the Fireblade Charger in deck, and this will be a magnet for the +1/+1 counters, because when it dies, it will deal damage to any target equal to its power, and we can use Kazal's Fury basically for double damage, because when it dies, it triggers itself, and then the Fury is that effect again, which is really, really cool, right? So the Luminarch Aspirant can push up the Fireblade Charger. The Adversary can push up the Charger as well through the ability if it sinks into it. The Showdown pushes it up, Angel Fire Ignition pushes it up, and even the Stormseeker or the Slasher can push it up as well. So there's like a lot of synergy within maximizing the damage that that Fireblade Charger will do, forcing your opponent to have exile, and then, you know, you just fury it out from underneath of them, which is cool if the game goes on that long. Obviously, we want to just trample double strike as soon as we can, but that is a nice alternative win condition for us through the direct damage of the ability, or the Fury / Fling, I guess, as well. Usher's really cool because it can create a token, and obviously we are increasing the power of our tokens through the Adversary, as well as through all of our creatures, really. And then we also have, you know, the double strike, which is great there. So, you know, it's just a good option if we've got nothing else going on. Removal through Fateful Absence, you know, this just gets rid of anything annoying. You know, if they put down the Renin 7 to make the token, it's like I almost just leave the Planeswalker there, take the token, and keep attacking. If we need to kill the Planeswalker, sure, but just slam in with damage. Try to ignore everything except for their health points, right? That's kind of what I did, and I actually had a lot of luck with that, which is really cool. The Binder gets in their hand. Hopefully it also does so with haste from the Seeker, or 6 with the Ignition, which is really cool, right? Because you can combo the Ignition with our other creatures if the game goes on long enough, right? So if you've got 6 mana, you can take a Binder out, boom, look into their hand. There's no instant speed removal to hit our Ignition on the stack. Now Ignition goes in, we just hit for 5, gained 5 life, you know, right? So that's going to be really, really good. And for 7, we can do the same thing with the Blade Historian, which is absolutely loco. But ideally, you know, it's a turn 3 Seeker, turn 4 Blade Historian, turn 5 Angel Fire Ignition. Like, you will not lose those matches. It's really, really good. But there's different patterns that you can take, which is really nice, because you don't always get it perfectly. You have to draw it, things like this, right? So that's basically the deck. We have 1 Cave of the Frost Dragons. It's so expensive is the thing. And we really just use Den of the Bugbear as a crutch instead. Again, it makes the token, which is really cool if the Adversary has been triggered, or if we have the double strike in effect as well, which is really, really nice, right? So focus on trample, focus on double strike. The only way you're getting double strike is through the Blade Historian. You can get trample through the Slasher, through the Ignition, right? And then we also have evasion through flying, and stack those counters over on the Charger, right? So when it dies, you're getting extra damage for it. You know, I think I did a fairly good job of breaking down the deck, you guys. It will take some practice, right? The matches are quick, so don't worry about it. Just get out there, get practicing, get a feel for the deck, and then you'll really become more attuned to your draw hands, what you're really looking for. And again, it's to curve out. You want to hit that 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, or land, right? And try to get that fourth land on turn 4. Holy Toledo's, you're absolutely flying high. So this is the deck. We are going to break down some gameplay now, and then we'll showcase at the end of the video some of the stats for the deck and the meta breakdown, stuff like this, right? So support the channel, thumbs up, become a Patreon, stuff like this. And yeah, let's check out some gameplay footage now. So this is a pretty bad hand. We have the Bugbear, which is nice, but we have no plays until 3. 3 and 4 are lit, though. We draw. We need a 1-drop and a 2-drop. Let's look at our percentages. 35 on land, 65 non-land. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. This is really bad, you guys. Don't pay attention to this. We need a 1-drop. Well, I mean, now well, at least we got a 2-drop. We got a 2-drop. It's not that bad. Playing against mono green. They're gonna Blizzard Brawl us, and we should save the Luminarch because it can build over top of them. So let's offer up the Intrepid Adversary as a sacrifice. I've not taken that trade, and then they've Blizzard Brawled me afterwards. So now I take the trade. This is a red source. Still worried about a Blizzard Brawl. If it survives, the binder has haste. We get in for 3. Pack leader. They tap it for a Blizzard Brawl. We don't have our removal. That makes that situation a lot harder. They're tapped. I wish we had something. I wish. So at this point, I think it's time to try to, they use their removal. Let's try to build over top. Not on the Luminarch. Spread the jelly. Now they're drawn to the Usher. They're like, oh, but it's more threatening. Tapped. Another Blizzard Brawl. Don't you dare back-to-back me. This is not good. We need an Angel Fire. Real bad, bro. What are you holding? Oh, no. Another fight effect. Go on the Charger. In their turn. We really want an Angel Fire. We need that inscription just to go away. Not exist. And then an Angel Fire. With also somehow our Blade Historian already in play. Really bad spot here. They just use counters, no fight effect, to hit for 7. It's not ideal. Not ideal. Big hit, you know what I mean? Stormseeker out. Counter here, ability here. Swing for 5, down to 12. Where is our Angel Fire? Land in play. What if we get a Scalds? All the land we have in play at that point is good. Charger's gone. That pays 2, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, they... Dang, man. Nice. That is a good hand. Like, every single card there's fire. It's good damage. They might block. Nice. Oh, not nice. I was not expecting the double block there. We get good value from it, at least. Gnarled Professor, whatever. What's this last card? They might gain life here. Where's our Angel Fire, man? Where is our Angel Fire? Come on! I'm begging, baby. I'm praying for you. That's risky on 8 life. Big hit. So close. So close. Whiff skis. We have 13. They get hit for 7, 8. Another Professor. We need that Angel Fire. We need that Angel Fire. Oh, those are good blocks. Those are really smart blockers. What do I do here? Really smart blockers there. We're 1 line shy. Come on, Angel Fire. Where are you? Not great. They still have 4 land. A lot of damage. We have a chump blocker. We need to top deck removal on the Sentinel, right? Which we do have. We've got, let's do our stats here. 9% on removal. Zal's Fury is at... Fuck, we should have kept that in our hand. And then a 9% as well. We take the hit. We need a sick top deck. That is not it. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers, and we have 5 attackers. What's in their hand? But if they use in their hand, they only have 3 blockers. But they'll gain life here. No, the life gain goes out after. Let's spread as much as we can. And I'm pretty sure the life gain triggers go out after, don't they? We may have just overextended. We have 1 blocker. I'm pretty sure these life gain triggers go out after. Right? Like, we win here. We win before the life gain triggers go on the stack and go out. Boop, 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 boop. That's what I was thinking. But in that last second, you second guess yourself, right? You're like, oh, I'm pretty sure, but oh man. Beautiful. Remaining undefeated against mono green. We talk about our stats after this video, and I have a 100% win rate against mono green, and we extend it here, which is really cool. Typically, and I talk about this, I break down all the different decks, how to beat them. It's when they use the Blizzard Brawl, when they use that inscription, you use your removal and get that creature underneath. All right, so some really fun matches today. And again, the deck is just about repetition. Quick matches with a positive overall win rate, right? 60% is pretty good, considering some of our matches are like a minute, 2 minutes, if things go really nicely. Breaking down the meta though, what were the most common decks that we played against? Maybe let me get myself over here where there's nothing, and then we can take a better look at the numbers here. So 24 matches against mono white with a 50% win rate, going 12-12. The thing about this match is their exile. They have Skyclaves, they have some of them, the Cathars, and this is ultra annoying for us. Very, very bad news bears. We have to prioritize our Fateful Absence on the Cathars primarily. They also can exile the Charger, so that strategy kind of isn't as effective as it typically would be against, you know, a mono green deck, for example, where it's hugely efficient. So mono white is like a really hard matchup for us. They can gain the double strike and go just as fast. They have access to the adversary, which does have a fair amount of lifelink, especially when they're exiling your other creatures. And that's not something that we want to remove. We have to save that removal for the things that exile us to get better value. So a very tough match, you know, falling 50%. I'm happy with that. And it is a very common match within the meta, right? 24 mono white decks that we've seen. Next up, we have 19 games against, well, mono green, right? And much more successful against mono green with a 73% win rate. going 14 and 5. And again, this is because they don't have the exile, right? We can go really big. We've got a ton of life gain. Yeah, Indestructible is nice. They Blizzard Brawl, boom, Fateful Absence on the target that they're using to Blizzard Brawl. That's the best thing that we can do against mono green, is kind of hold up that Fateful Absence, because you know they're always going to have Blizzard Brawl. So play your creatures, hold up that 2 mana, they cast Blizzard Brawl, boom, you cut their creature down, they just lost out a brawl, you keep your creature, and now you punish them for it, right? So that's kind of my strategy against mono green. Again, not always the easiest matchup, but much, much friendlier than mono white, because they have that exile and our removal isn't as effective. We have 18 games against the one and only mirror match, Boros Aggro. We're sitting at a 55% win rate, so clearly we're the best Boros Aggro deck out there, right? Man, I must have built 6 or 7 different versions of this deck in preparation for the new season here. Just trying to, there's so many different variants that you can play, right? It's crazy. And again, I'm not even sure that I like this one the most. I love the Learn variant a ton, but I feel like this one may be more consistent. Maybe I could play another 150 matches to find out, get the right data, right? But again, you know, I'm happy with this variant. Really, really pleased. The Boros matchup is, it can be tough. Who's got a better draw hand? Who's got the better grasp on your opponent's deck? Because you really do need to prioritize what you have in the mirror match, right? We only have 4 removals and they've got exile. Potentially they also probably have removal as well. So it's a different match, and there are so many different variants of the Boros deck floating around right now, which is really cool. So it makes it not the easiest matchup, because there's different things, different flavors of it. So it's not, you know, just like storybook mono green, which you know exactly what's going to happen. So, you know, the 55% is nice. 10 and 8 is pretty cool. Moving away from that, we have 14 matches with my least favorite deck. Oh my god. If I have another all-around Epiphany cast on me multiple times, I might have an aneurysm. I cannot handle it, you guys. What is it? Galvanic Iteration, I think is, I think that's the one, to copy the spell. And, you know, they get so lucky. It's like, how are they getting all 4 all-runs in the top 20 cards of their deck, and now they're copying them even? You know, one guy casts 6 copies, another 5. I think the most we had copied on us was 8. The opponent took 8 extra turns, which is silly. So how do you beat this deck? Well, you have to go really, really fast. You need to go underneath of it, and you pray. You just pray they don't have something like a Cinderclasm, Crush the Weak to wipe your field, because that is going to be sad. Elite Spellbinder, get in that hand immediately. Probably take the dragon if you can, because let's face it, Orange Epiphany is probably already foretold over to the side. If not, take it. And again, just go really, really fast. Try to get underneath of them, but I hate Orange Epiphany. Now, this is one of our lower win rates, 42%, you guys, 6 and 8. Good luck if they're on the play. Good luck if they're on the play, you know what I mean? And then maybe even if they have a sweeper. So sad. A really good deck. So if you're looking just for like an autopilot deck, I really recommend just casting Alrund's Epiphany, right? You get the mana. Oh, here's some treasures. Boom, double turn. Boom, another turn after that, plus my land attacks. So it's a lot of fun, right? People are obviously enjoying it, and it's just such a great card. I love Alrund's Epiphany. Love to see it cast on me multiple times, I'll tell you what. So that's 14 matches there, and that's kind of like what, the top 4, top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, top 4, and then I guess 11 would be our next up. Mono black, people are playing the zombies, 54%, 6 and 5. There's a lot of removal in mono black, I'll tell you what. So that can be kind of frustrating, but again, you know, they don't always pull it, and they don't always go first, which is really cool. Breaking away from that, 10 matches against mono blue, 60% here, a little bit easier because we don't have like a high reliance on non-creature spells. Yeah, Angel Fire Ignition is a card with flashback, and you know, an instant that gets countered, right? or sorcery, I should say. But because of the flashback, you still have access to it, right? It goes to your grave because it got countered, and you get to recast that card. That's really, really good against a deck that's trying to, you know, counter stuff. And then, you know, it's just Showdown Scalds. So there's very little cards for them to counter and really get value from it. We can just make sure that we play Scalds when they're tapped out, right? We can draw out counter spells with Angel Fire. The one thing that really gets us, which I didn't really see Mono Blue running, that's more of a Prismari Dragons type thing, is the Devious Cover-Up. Oh, that is not good. Test of Talents is also floating around. Very bad. Test of Talents snags every single copy of Angel Fire Ignition, and you can't recast it if it, you know, it just grabs them all. So, you know, that's really sad to see. Which again, you know, Mono Blue does run sometimes, but you know, you just play around it. Use lots of creatures, and then, you know, their bounce effects aren't really that great because you just replay the creature, and we've got haste, and you know, that's gonna help us get the job done the majority of the time. 60% win rate, 6 and 4. That was 10. We've got 8 with Azorius control. Wow, that deck is annoying. Only 25%. Doomscar, Mastery, Doomscar, double turn. You guys know the pattern. So the Azorius deck, we have a massively hard time with this build, and I think that is due, yes, to all the field wipes, but more importantly, Sunset's Revelry. Holy Toledos. Gained 4 life. Here's 2 chump blockers, and I draw a card. What? That is insane value. So, you know, if you're looking for the control build right now, Azorius feels really good with Sunset's Revelry and just a bunch of wipes. You know, that's kind of what we've got going on for the top decks here. 7, 6 and 1 against the Rakdos Treasures. Having a really easy time with this deck for some reason. You can Elite Spellbind on their Dragon. You've got the instant speed removal, and you just power through it, right? The lifelink, trample, indestructible double strike situation is really good, right? Because the double strike trample, when you have lifelink, is not just like the first strike lifelink or the double strike lifelink and the creature blocks it and you only gain lifelink once. You'll gain all of the life, which is really, really good. And it's hard for them to keep up, and you just get in a race that you win, which is cool. So, you know, that's kind of what we're sitting with the meta. The rest of the decks, you're not really going to see enough to care about. Gruul, absolutely crushing Gruul with a 100% win rate. Maybe we should mention that, eh? Also, the Dimir control deck, no bueno. We've got Haste, my friend, and the Simic Ren deck. Like, we actually do really good against the Ren and the Chariot sometimes. I don't want to, you know, say that we're always beating it, but, you know, doing fairly well in those games that we played within Mythic. And I did record this before today's gameplay, so the stats might be a little different. Maybe, hopefully we won all of our matches today, I don't know, but yeah, so that's kind of what we had within our push to Mythic, and I want to make sure that we captured the stat talk before I played more games within Mythic, right? So you knew exactly what it did take to get there. And, you know, the modes just, you know, on the play, 74 times, on the draw, 89 times. So that's, you know, skewed away from our favor. That's not 50-50, but it, you know, it's fairly close. It's not too far. What, like 25 away or something. So not that bad. And yeah, having just a ton of fun. You guys seen the deck list. We did the breakdown there, and that's what I've got going on for you guys today. So thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Like the video, support the channel financially if you can afford to do so. The Linktree link down below will have a bunch of different ways to do that. Just join the community Discord for free as well. Partake, contest, giveaways. That's all free, you guys, right? So help grow your collection. Speaking of your collection, you guys, 408,000 gold. We're getting so close to 420. We're almost there. And the packs. I've made it my goal to collect 69 of each set of packs, and once I do, I'm gonna tweet Wizards and be like, if you don't give me the Jumpstart packs to collect, I'm gonna freak out. I must have them. So those are kind of my goals within the game right now. Obviously keep it engaging for myself. I would love to play some limited. If you guys want some limited, let me know in the comments. Like the video for sure if you haven't done so already. And have a magical day, you guys. We'll see you soon in the next I appreciate you, and I cannot wait for our next adventure. Take care.